Hi, my name is Maya Hayes, and I am a personal trainer and graduate assistant for the Georgia State Recreation Center. I'm also a certified bar instructor, and today I'll be showing you a floor bar sequence. So this sequence is going to be great for strengthening the hips, along with improving hip stability, and then also improving strength in the abdominal muscles. Great thing is you need very little equipment for today's sequence. The only thing you'll actually need is just a yoga mat, and that is it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. For our first exercise in the sequence, we'll start by lying on our right side and crossing our left leg over our right, and we'll move into 30 seconds of hip adductions with a pointed toe. So with this, while pointing your toe, you're just going to lower and lift that right leg up and down, and we'll continue on for 30 more seconds here. And you want to make this movement very controlled, really focusing on engaging the muscles as you lift. And try to avoid rolling the hips back and sitting on that right hip. So try to keep your hips actively rolled forward so that you keep your back and your hips aligned and you're not sitting on that right hip. All right, we have just under 10 seconds remaining here. Continuing to pulse here for 3, 2, and 1. For our next exercise, we're going to complete another 30 seconds of pulsing, but this time we're going to do it with a flexed foot. So as you pulse with a flexed foot here, this should feel a little bit more challenging. You want to focus on, as you flex your foot, really engaging the muscles as you lift. And we have about 10 more seconds remaining here, still pulsing, keeping the hips rolled forward, avoiding leaning back and sitting on that right hip. And we'll go for 3, 2, and 1. For our next exercise, we'll move into 30 seconds of a leg lower to straddle. So you'll bring your hands underneath your hips here for support, and your hands will also be a good indication if you are arching your low back in this movement, and you do want to avoid that. If you find yourself arching your low back at any point, then you want to really focus on engaging the core and pulling the belly button in towards the spine, and maybe not bringing the legs quite as low. So the lower you bring your legs, the more you have a tendency to rely on other muscles to do the work here outside of your core, and more of a probability of the low back to arch. All right, we'll go for 3, 2, and 1. Next, we'll move into a static leg lower hold plus a straddle. So 30 seconds here, holding that leg lowered position while straddling the legs out and in. So same thing here, you want to focus on keeping the low back pressed into the mat, and if you find that this movement is a little too challenging, you can focus on keeping the legs a little bit higher. The lower your legs are here, the harder it is to actually maintain that position throughout the straddle movement. All right, we'll continue to go here for 3, 2, and 1. Next, we'll move into 30 seconds of adductions with a pointed toe here on our left side. So just as we did with our right side, you're going to lower and lift that left leg while keeping the toe pointed, making small and controlled movements as you lower and lift. Still focusing on keeping the hips rolled forward and trying to not sit back on that left hip. And you really just want to focus on lowering and lifting as high as you can here. And we'll continue to go here for 3, 2, and 1. Next, we'll move into, once again, 30 seconds of pulsing with a flexed foot. So here we're still pulsing just the same as we have been, but you want to flex that foot so that you can really focus on muscle engagement. So it should feel slightly harder than when you pulse with a pointed toe. You should feel a little bit more muscle engagement when you pulse with the flexed foot. All right, and once again, avoid rolling back onto that left hip. Try to keep the hips rolled forward, and we'll go for 3, 2, and 1. And for our final movement, we'll move into 30 seconds of leg lower crossovers. So you're going to lower your legs while crossing the right over left leg and then switching and crossing the left over right leg. So we have 30 seconds here. Same principles apply with our other leg lower movements. You really want to focus on that core engagement and keeping the low back flat to the mat. And you're just alternating the legs as you lift and lower them, keeping the belly button pulled in towards the spine. And we'll continue to go here for 3, 2, and 1. All right, that concludes today's sequence. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you found it effective. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Georgia State Recreational Services and Instagram and Twitter at GSU Recreation. If you'd like to try this class out in person, you can sign up to take Barre at recreation.gsu.edu. All right, I'll see you next time.